The alarm rang through Luna Station like the sound of death itself. Ambassador Tejo ran down the metal hallway, his boots making loud sounds on the floor. Other people ran past him, their faces full of fear. He had never seen the station like this before. "Sir, sir," a young officer called out to him. The message came through the main channel. "It's from them, from the coalition." Tejo stopped running. His heart was beating fast. He knew this day would come, but he hoped it never would. For 3 years, Earth had been getting warnings from the Galactic Coalition. 7 different alien races working together. All of them wanted Earth to give up. "Show me," Tejo said. They walked into the communication room. The big screen showed a creature that looked like a mix between a lizard and a bird. Its eyes were cold and yellow. When it spoke, its voice sounded like metal scraping against stone. "People of Earth," the alien said. "I am Speaker Vorth of the Galactic Coalition. You have ignored our warnings for too long. Your species is young and dangerous. You fight too much. You spread too fast. You do not follow the rules of civilized space." Tejo watched the message with growing anger. These aliens thought they owned the galaxy. They thought they could tell humans what to do. "We give you one last chance," the alien continued. "You have 72 hours. Shut down all your military ships. Give up all your weapons. Accept our control over your world. If you do not do this, we will destroy every human in space. Then we will destroy your planet." The message ended. The room was quiet. Tejo could hear his own breathing. "How many ships do they have?" he asked. "Our scouts counted 10,000 ships, sir," the officer said. "They are waiting just outside our solar system. Our whole fleet is only 200 ships." Tejo closed his eyes. 10,000 against 200. It was not a fight, it was murder. "Send a message to Earth," he said. "Tell President Sora that we need an emergency meeting. Right now." On Earth, President Sora sat in the big meeting room deep under the ground. The room was built to survive nuclear bombs. Today, it might need to survive something much worse. Around the long table sat the most important people in the human military. "They want us to surrender," Sora said. Her voice was calm, but her hands were shaking a little. 10,000 ships. We have never seen a fleet that big." Commander Dongwu hit the table with his fist. "We should surrender. What choice do we have? If we fight, they will kill everyone. Every man, woman, and child on Earth will die." "So we become slaves?" asked General Ki-moon. "We let them control us forever?" "Better to be alive slaves than dead heroes," Dongwu said. Admiral Kyung-min had been quiet during the argument. She was older than the others, with gray hair and scars on her hands from her time as a pilot. Now she spoke in a soft voice. "There is another choice," she said. Everyone looked at her. President Sora leaned forward. "What choice?" "Project Shadow," Kyung-min said. The room went very quiet. Some of the people looked confused. Others looked surprised. Commander Dongwu shook his head. "Project Shadow is just a dream," he said. "We have been working on it for 3 years, but it is not ready." "It is ready," Kyung-min said. "It has been ready for 6 months." President Sora stared at her. "Are you telling me that we have been building a secret fleet, and you did not tell me?" "We told you about the project 3 years ago," Kyung-min said. "You signed the papers. You gave us the money, but we did not tell you when it was finished. We could not risk the aliens finding out." She stood up and walked to the big screen on the wall. With her finger, she drew on the screen. A picture appeared. It showed space near the asteroid belt, between Mars and Jupiter. 500 ships, she said, all of them invisible to alien sensors. All of them armed with new weapons. Weapons that the aliens have never seen before. General Ki-moon could not believe it. 500 ships? How did you build 500 ships without anyone knowing? "We use the mining stations," Kyung-min said. "The big machines that dig metal from asteroids. We changed them into shipbuilders. The aliens know about the mining stations. They think the stations are just digging metal. They do not know the stations have been building warships." Commander Dongwu was still shaking his head. Even with 500 ships, we are still outnumbered. They have 10,000. The math is simple. The math is not simple, Kyung-min said. Their ships are bigger and stronger than our old ships. But our new ships are different. They can hide, they can move fast, and they have weapons that can cut through alien armor like paper. She touched the screen again. Another picture appeared. It showed a strange metal object with smooth curves and no sharp edges. This is from the ruins on Mars, she said. The ancient city we found 5 years ago. The aliens think it is just old rocks, but it is not rocks. It is a message, a warning, and a gift. President Sora was trying to understand. What kind of gift? Technology, Kyung-min said. The beings who lived on Mars 1,000,000 years ago fought the same aliens we are fighting now. They lost the war, but they left us their weapons, their knowledge. We have been learning from them. The room was silent for a long time. Finally, President Sora spoke. Can we win? Kyung-min looked at her with steady eyes. I do not know if we can win, but I know we can hurt them. We can hurt them so badly that other aliens will think twice before attacking Earth. And if we lose? If we lose fighting, we die as free humans. If we surrender, we live as alien pets. Commander Dongwu stood up. His face was red with anger. You are talking about starting a war we cannot win. Millions of people will die. Millions of people will die anyway, Kyung-min said. The aliens do not want to rule us. They want to remove us. They think humans are too dangerous to live. President Sora looked around the table at all the faces. Some looked afraid. Some looked angry. All of them looked tired. Show me the Shadow Fleet, she said. Kyung-min smiled for the first time. I cannot show you from here, but I can tell you where to look. Tonight, when the sun goes down, look at the constellation Orion. Look at the middle star in the belt. Our fleet is hiding behind the asteroid there. Commander Haewon is waiting for orders. Commander Haewon? My best student, and the best pilot in human space. President Sora made her decision. Send a message to the aliens. Tell them we need more time to think. Ask for one more day. And then? Asked General Ki-moon. Then we though. Show them what happens when they threaten Earth. Far away in space, the alien fleet waited in perfect formation. Speaker Vorth stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking at the small blue planet on his screen. Such a tiny world. Such weak creatures. It would be over soon. He did not know that human eyes were watching him through invisible cameras. He did not know that human computers were counting his ships and learning about his weapons. He did not know that in the darkness between the asteroids, 500 human ships were getting ready to change the galaxy forever. The countdown had begun. Captain Jinwoo stood on the bridge of the Soul's Pride, watching his crew work at their stations. They all looked nervous. They had good reason to be nervous. In 6 hours, the alien ultimatum would end. In 6 hours, the war would begin. Captain, his communications officer called out, we are getting the signal from Earth Command. Put it on the main screen, Jinwoo said. President Sora appeared on the screen. She looked tired, but her voice was strong. All ships of the Earth, Defense Fleet. Today we face the greatest threat in human history, but we do not face it alone. We face it together. We face it as one people, one world, one family. Jinwoo listened to every word. Around him, his crew stopped their work to listen too. The aliens think we will surrender because they have more ships, the president continued. They think we will give up because we are afraid. They are wrong. We are afraid, but we will not give up. We will show them what humans do when someone threatens our home. The message ended. Jinwoo looked at his crew. You heard the president. Take your positions. Make ready for battle. But Jinwoo knew something his crew did not know. This battle was not real. It was a show. A trick to make the aliens think they were winning while the real attack was being prepared. Deep in space, hidden behind a large asteroid, Admiral Kyung-min sat in her command chair aboard the invisible ship Hidden Dawn. Around her, the bridge was dark and quiet. Every sound was controlled. Every light was turned down. The ship was completely invisible to alien sensors. "Admiral," whispered her communications officer, Lieutenant Yuna. "We are receiving messages from all Shadow Fleet ships. They are ready." Kyungmin nodded. 500 ships, all invisible, all armed with weapons the aliens had never seen. Each ship was crewed by volunteers, people who knew they might not come home, people who chose to fight anyway. "Send a message to Commander Haewon," she said, quietly. "Tell her the show is about to begin." On the other side of the asteroid field, Commander Haewon received the message. She was aboard the Ghost Blade, the fastest ship in the Shadow Fleet. Around her ship, dozens of other invisible ships waited in silence. "All ships," she whispered into her microphone. "Remember the plan. We wait until the aliens move close to Earth. We wait until they think they have won. Then we hit them with everything we have." Lieutenant Minho was not on any ship. He was on Mars, in the underground base near the ancient ruins. He watched alien communication signals on his computer screen. The aliens were talking to each other, planning their attack. "This is too easy," he heard one alien say. "The humans have only 200 ships. We will destroy them in minutes." "Do not be so sure," said another alien voice. "Humans are tricky. They might have surprises." "What surprises? They are primitives. They barely have space travel. This will be like stepping on insects." Minho recorded every word. This information was going to Shadow Fleet Command. The aliens were confident. That was good. Confident enemies make mistakes. On Titan, one of Saturn's moons, Specialist Unji was doing the same thing. She listened to alien communications from her hidden station. The aliens were dividing their fleet into groups. The biggest group would attack Earth directly. Smaller groups would destroy human colonies and space stations. "They want to kill everyone," she whispered to herself. "Not just defeat us. Kill us." She sent the information to Admiral Kyung-min. This was important. The aliens were not planning to accept surrender. They were planning genocide. Back on Earth's moon, Ambassador Taeho received a message from the alien fleet. Speaker Vorth appeared on the screen again, his yellow eyes cold and angry. "Humans," Vorth said, "your time is up. You have not surrendered. You have not shut down your military. Therefore, we will now demonstrate our power. We will destroy your moon as a warning. After that, we will destroy your planet." The message ended. Taeho felt cold inside. They really were going to kill everyone. On the bridge of his flagship, Speaker Vorth gave orders to his fleet. "All ships, move forward. Destroy the human fleet first, then destroy their moon. Show these primitives what happens when they refuse to obey." The alien fleet began to move. 10,000 ships, each one bigger than anything humans had ever built. They moved in perfect formation, like a giant metal cloud coming to swallow the solar system. Captain Jinwoo watched them approach. On his screen, "All human ships," he said into his microphone. "Here they come. Remember, we are not trying to win. We are trying to look like we are losing. Make it look good." The human fleet began to move too. 200 ships against 10,000. On any normal day, it would be suicide. But this was not a normal day. The aliens watched the human ships with amusement. The human formation was breaking apart. Ships were moving in different directions. It looked like panic. "Look at them," Vorth laughed. "They are running away before we even shoot. These humans have no courage." But the humans were not running, they were moving into position. Each ship was going to exactly the right place. They were creating a three-dimensional grid around Earth. To the aliens, it looked like chaos. Actually, it was the most precise military movement in human history. Lieutenant Yuna, aboard the Hidden Dawn, was coordinating the movement. She had a direct communication link with every human ship. "Ship 7, move 2 degrees left," she whispered. "Ship 23, increase speed by 0.5. Each human ship was a beacon for the Shadow Fleet. When the aliens came close enough, the Shadow Fleet would know exactly where every enemy ship was located. On Mars, Lieutenant, Minho heard the alien commanders talking about the human formation. "They are in complete disorder," one alien said. "This will be easier than we thought." "Wait," said another alien. "Something is strange. Why are they positioning themselves in that pattern?" "Because they are stupid," Vorth said. "Attack now. Destroy them all." The alien fleet opened fire. Massive energy beams shot across space toward the human ships. The beams were bright enough to light up the entire solar system. Captain Jinwoo felt his ship shake as an alien beam hit his shields. "Damage report," he called out. "Shield generators at 60%, his engineer replied. "We can take maybe 3 more hits like that." "Perfect," Jinwoo said. "Send a message to Earth. Tell them we are taking heavy damage. Make it sound desperate." All across the human fleet, similar messages were being sent. Ships reported damage. Captains called for help. Everything sounded like a military disaster. The aliens heard these messages and felt even more confident. "The humans are breaking," Vorth said. "Move closer. Finish them quickly." The alien fleet moved deeper into the solar system. They were now exactly where Admiral Kyung-min wanted them, scattered around Earth in small groups, close enough for the Shadow Fleet to reach them, far enough from each other that they could not help each other. "All Shadow Fleet ships," Admiral Kyung-min whispered into her microphone. "Prepare to decloak. Wait for my signal." Around the solar system, 500 invisible ships prepared for battle. Weapons powered up. Targeting systems locked onto alien ships. Crews took deep breaths and said prayers. Commander Haewon felt her heart beating fast. She had trained for this moment her whole life, but training was different from real battle. "In real battle, people died. Ghostblade to all ships," she whispered. "When we decloak, we will have maybe 30 seconds before they realize what is happening. Make those 30 seconds count." Speaker Vorth watched his fleet destroy the last of the human ships. It had been easier than he expected. Now it was time to destroy the moon, then the planet itself. "Begin bombardment of the human moon," he ordered. The aliens did not know that their communications were being monitored. They did not know that every word was being recorded. They did not know that human ears were listening to everything they said. On the hidden command ship, Admiral Kyung-min heard the order to destroy the moon. She looked at her watch. It was time. "All Shadow Fleet ships," she said, no longer whispering. "Decloak and engage. Show them what humans can do." In the darkness of space, 500 human ships suddenly appeared like ghosts becoming real. The aliens had been looking at empty space. Now they were looking at the largest surprise attack. In galactic history, the war had truly begun. The first thing Speaker Vorth felt was confusion. One moment, his screens showed empty space around the human planet. The next moment, 500 enemy ships had appeared from nowhere. It was impossible. No technology could make ships completely invisible. "What is happening?" he shouted at his crew. "Where did those ships come from?" His weapons officer was staring at his screen with wide eyes. "Sir, they just appeared all at once. Our sensors show nothing, then suddenly they were there." Before Vorth could respond, the human ships opened fire. Commander Haewon was aboard the Ghostblade, leading the first attack wave. She had trained for this moment 1,000 times in simulation. But seeing it happen for real was different, more intense, more frightening. "All ships fire at will," she commanded. The Shadow Fleet's weapons were unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Instead of normal energy beams, they fired concentrated plasma that could cut through alien armor like a hot knife through butter. The weapons had been built using technology found in the ancient ruins on Mars. The first alien ship to be hit simply broke apart. Its shields, designed to stop conventional energy weapons, were useless against the human plasma lances. The ship exploded in a ball of white fire. Then another alien ship exploded. And another. "Impossible," Vorth screamed. "Our shields are the strongest in the galaxy. Nothing can penetrate them." But the human weapons were penetrating them. Ship after ship in his fleet was being destroyed. In less than 2 minutes, he had lost over 100 vessels. On the bridge of the human ship Soul's Pride, Captain Jin Woo watched the battle with amazement. His crew was cheering as alien ships exploded on their screens. "Sir," his communications officer called out, "we are receiving orders from Shadow Fleet Command. We are to join the attack immediately." Jinwoo smiled. For hours, they had pretended to be defeated. Now they could fight back for real. "All human defense ships," he announced over the fleet communication system. "Our friends have arrived. Time to show these aliens what Earth is really made of." The human defense fleet, which had been scattered and appearing to retreat, suddenly reformed into attack formation. Ships that had seemed damaged were suddenly working perfectly. The aliens realized they had been tricked. Admiral Kyungmin watched the battle from her command ship. Everything was going according to plan. The aliens were confused and scattered. Their formation was broken. But she knew this advantage would not last long. "All Shadow Fleet squadrons," she commanded. "Execute formation Delta 7. Hit them fast and hard before they can reorganize." Captain Tae-young led Squadron 5 in a sweeping attack against the alien left flank. His ships moved in perfect coordination, each one targeting a different enemy vessel. The aliens tried to return fire, but the human ships were too fast and too small. "Target their command ships," Tae-young ordered. "Take out their leaders and the rest will panic." Lieutenant Ji-ho was the electronic warfare specialist aboard Tae-young's flagship. His job was to jam alien communications and confuse their sensors. He was very good at his job. "I've blocked their long-range communications," he reported. "They cannot call for help from outside the solar system, and I'm feeding false information to their targeting computers." This meant that when alien ships tried to shoot at humans, their weapons were aiming at empty space instead. Commander So-min led another group of Shadow Fleet ships in an attack against the alien rear guard. These ships were trying to escape and reform their battle lines. She was not going to let that happen. "No alien ship leaves this system," she announced to her squadron. "We end this here and now." Her ships were equipped with the newest human technology, quantum torpedoes. These weapons could track a target through hyperspace and explode with the power of a small star. When the first torpedo hit an alien cruiser, the explosion was visible from Earth. Speaker Vorth was beginning to understand that his fleet was in serious trouble. The humans had somehow developed technology that was better than anything the Coalition possessed. His ships were being destroyed faster than he could count them. "All ships retreat to safe distance," he ordered. "Reform the battle line." But his orders were not getting through. Lieutenant Ji-ho's jamming was blocking most alien communications. The few messages that did get through were garbled and confusing. Some alien ships tried to retreat. Others tried to attack. Many just flew in circles, not knowing what to do. The perfect formation that had entered the solar system was now complete chaos. Commander Hae-won saw the aliens' confusion and pressed her advantage. "All attack squadrons, target their flagship. If we take out their leader, the rest will surrender." Her ship, the Ghostblade, accelerated toward Vorth's massive command vessel. Around her, dozens of other human ships followed. They moved like a school of metal fish, fast and deadly. The alien flagship was huge, 10 times bigger than any human ship. It had enough weapons to destroy a small planet. But all those weapons were designed to fight large enemy fleets at long range. They were not built to fight small, fast ships that attacked up close. "Target their weapon systems," Hae-won ordered. "Cut them off piece by piece." Human plasma lances began slicing through the alien flagship's weapon batteries. Each hit caused secondary explosions as alien ammunition storage areas caught fire. The great ship began to look like a dying whale, bleeding fire and atmosphere. On the bridge of the flagship, Speaker Vorth was desperate. Half his weapons were gone. His shields were failing. His communications were jammed. And still more human ships kept appearing. "How many ships do they have?" he demanded. "We have counted over 600 human vessels," his tactical officer replied. "But our sensors keep finding more." Vorth could not understand it. Intelligence reports had said the humans only had 200 ships total. Where had all these others come from? The answer was that human intelligence had been lying to the aliens for 3 years. Every report, every communication, every piece of information the aliens had received about human military strength had been carefully designed to make Earth look weak and helpless. Admiral Kyung-min had been planning this deception since the first alien warning. She knew that the only way to defeat a superior enemy was to make them underestimate you completely. Lieutenant Yun-ah, the communications specialist, was coordinating the battle from the hidden command ship. She could see everything happening, through the sensor networks of all human ships. The battle was going better than anyone had dared hope. "Admiral," she reported, "we have destroyed over 800 alien vessels. The rest are retreating or trying to surrender." "No surrenders," yet Kyung-min replied. "We need to make sure they cannot regroup and attack us again." The battle continued for another hour. Human ships hunted down fleeing aliens throughout the solar system. Near Mars, Captain Wu Jin's squadron cornered a group of alien cruisers trying to hide behind the planet's moons. The aliens fought desperately, but human weapons were simply too advanced. Near Jupiter, Commander Dobbin led her ships in an attack against alien vessels trying to reach the edge of the solar system. She used the planet's gravity to accelerate her ships to incredible speeds, catching the aliens by surprise. "This is for everyone they threatened to kill," she said, as her ships opened fire. The alien retreat became a complete rout. Ships that had entered the solar system in perfect formation now fled in panic, many of them damaged and leaking atmosphere. Speaker Vorth's flagship was crippled and drifting. Half his crew was dead. His engines were destroyed. His weapons were gone. Around him, the remains of his fleet were scattered across the solar system like broken toys. "Send a surrender signal," he ordered weakly. "Sir, our communications are still jammed," his officer replied. Vorth closed his yellow eyes. His career was over. The coalition would blame him for this disaster, but he was beginning to understand that the disaster was not his fault. The coalition had completely misjudged the humans. These were not primitives. These were warriors with technology that surpassed anything the galaxy had seen. They had hidden their true strength and waited for the perfect moment to strike. On Earth, people were watching the battle on their screens. They could see the alien ships burning in space above their heads. They could see human ships moving like silver arrows through the darkness. In the underground command center, President Sora watched with tears in her eyes. "We did it," she whispered. "We actually did it." But Admiral Kyung-min was not celebrating yet. She knew the battle was only the beginning. When news of this defeat reached coalition space, more fleets would come. Bigger fleets. The humans had won the first battle, but the war was just starting. "All ships," she announced over the fleet communication system, "prepare for salvage and rescue operations. We have wounded to tend to and prisoners to take, and we have a lot to learn from captured alien technology." The Shadow Fleet had won its first victory, but everyone knew it would not be their last battle. The hunt began 3 hours after the main battle ended. Scattered throughout the solar system, groups of alien ships were trying to escape. Some were badly damaged and moving slowly. Others were intact but lost, their navigation systems confused by human electronic warfare. Commander Haewon stood on the bridge of the Ghostblade studying the tactical display. Red dots showed alien ships. Green dots showed human ships. The red dots were running away in all directions like frightened animals. "Ma'am," her tactical officer reported, "we have identified 17 separate alien groups trying to reach the edge of the solar system. Some have as many as 50 ships. Others are just single vessels." Haewon nodded. "Split the fleet into hunter groups. I want every alien ship either captured or destroyed. None of them can be allowed to escape and report back to coalition space." This was not cruelty. This was strategy. If even one alien ship escaped with information about human capabilities, the next coalition fleet would be prepared for human technology. The surprise advantage would be lost forever. Captain Sung-ho led Hunter Group Alpha toward the asteroid belt, where his sensors had detected a cluster of alien ships hiding behind the rocks. His ship, the Silent Thunder, moved carefully through the asteroid field. One wrong move could mean collision with a spinning rock the size of a mountain. "Contact ahead," his sensor operator called out. 12 alien vessels, all cruiser class. They appear to be making repairs. Sung-ho studied the tactical display. The alien ships were arranged in a defensive circle, their weapons pointing outward. They knew human ships were hunting them. "This is Captain Sung Ho of the Earth Defense Force," he broadcast on all frequencies. "You are surrounded. Power down. Your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Any attempt to fight will result in your destruction." The alien response came quickly. Energy beams lanced out from the hidden ships, lighting up the asteroid field with deadly fire. Several large rocks were cut in half by the beams. "So much for surrender," Sung Ho muttered. "All ships attack Formation Delta. Take them down." The human ships moved through the asteroids like dancers, using the spinning rocks as cover. The aliens had superior firepower, but the humans had superior skill and knowledge of the terrain. Lieutenant Dobbin was piloting her scout ship, Quick, strike through a narrow gap between two asteroids when she spotted something unusual. One of the alien ships was not fighting. It was trying to sneak away while the others provided cover. "Command ship," she reported. "I have a runner trying to escape through Sector 7. Intercept and disable," came the reply. Dobbin pushed her engines to maximum power. Her small ship shot through space like a bullet, weaving between asteroids and debris. The alien ship was bigger and stronger, but she was faster and more maneuverable. When she got within range, she fired her plasma lance at the alien ship's engines. The beam cut through the alien's rear section like a sword through paper. The ship immediately lost power and began drifting. "Target disabled," she reported, moving to assist with the main group. Meanwhile, near Jupiter, Captain Wu Jin was dealing with a more difficult problem. A large group of alien warships had taken position behind one of Jupiter's moons. They were using the moon as a shield while they made repairs and tried to contact other alien forces. "We cannot get a clear shot at them," his weapons officer reported. "Every time we move to attack, they hide behind the moon." Wu Jin studied the problem. The aliens thought they were safe behind the moon. They were wrong. "Communications, send a message to Admiral Kyung Min. Request permission to use a quantum torpedo on the moon's surface." The reply came quickly. "Permission granted. Make it spectacular." Wu Jin smiled. The quantum torpedo was not aimed at the alien ships, it was aimed at the moon itself. When the torpedo hit the moon's surface, it would create an artificial earthquake that would shake the aliens out of their hiding place. The torpedo streaked across space and hit the moon with tremendous force. The entire moon shook like a bell. Geysers of rock and ice shot up from the surface. The gravitational disturbance was so strong that it pulled the alien ships away from their hiding place. "All ships attack now while they are exposed," Wu Jin ordered. His squadron pounced on the confused aliens like wolves attacking sheep. Within minutes, the entire alien group was either destroyed or surrendering. Back on Earth, Admiral Kyung Min was coordinating the hunt from her underground command center. Large screens showed the positions of all human and alien ships throughout the solar system. The red dots were disappearing one by one as her hunters found their prey. "Admiral," Intelligence Officer Jae-hoon reported, "we are receiving interesting communications from the captured aliens. They seem to be arguing among themselves about what went wrong." "Put it on speaker," Kyung Min ordered. The alien voices filled the room. They sounded angry and confused. "This was supposed to be easy," one alien said. "Intelligence told us the humans were primitives with weak technology." "Intelligence was wrong," another replied. "These humans have weapons we have never seen before, ships that can become invisible, and they fight like demons. The Coalition Council will blame us for this failure. The Coalition Council should blame whoever gave us false information about human capabilities." Kyung Min listened with interest. The aliens were beginning to understand that they had been deceived, but they still did not know how completely they had been fooled. Commander So Min was leading another hunter group toward the outer planets, where long-range sensors had detected alien ships trying to reach the edge of the solar system. These ships were moving fast, probably hoping to escape before human forces could catch them. "Increase speed to maximum," she ordered. "We need to catch them before they reach jump distance." Her ships, equipped with the latest human engines, began to accelerate beyond anything the aliens thought possible. The technology came from the ancient ruins on Mars, engines that could bend space itself to achieve incredible speeds. "Ma'am," her navigator called out, "at this speed we will intercept the alien ships in 37 minutes. Good. Signal all ships to prepare for combat at extreme range. We will hit them with everything we have before they know we are there. The alien ships never saw the attack coming. One moment they were racing toward freedom. The next moment, human plasma lances were cutting through their hulls from impossible distances. By the time they realized they were under attack, most of their ships were already crippled. Lieutenant Mi Ra was aboard one of the ships in Somin's group. Her job was to intercept alien communications and prevent them from sending messages to Coalition space. I am detecting an attempt to send a long-range message, she reported. Blocking it now. Her electronic warfare equipment sent out a powerful jamming signal that scrambled the alien transmission. Whatever message they were trying to send became meaningless noise. Message blocked, she confirmed. They cannot contact anyone outside the solar system. This was crucial. As long as the aliens could not communicate with their home worlds, the Coalition would not know what had happened to their fleet. They would assume the attack on Earth was going according to plan. Near Saturn, Captain Hyunwoo was hunting the most dangerous prey of all, Speaker Vorth's crippled flagship. The massive alien vessel was drifting through space, apparently powerless, but Hyunwoo knew it might be a trap. Scan that ship carefully, he ordered his sensor operator. Look for any signs of weapons or engine activity. The ship appears to be genuinely disabled, came the reply. But I am detecting life signs. Approximately 3,000 aliens are still alive aboard that vessel. Hyunwoo considered his options. He could destroy the flagship easily, but 3,000 prisoners would be valuable for intelligence purposes, and Admiral Kyung-min had given orders to capture alien leaders whenever possible. This is Captain Hyunwoo of the Earth Defense Force, he broadcast toward the alien flagship. Speaker Vorth, you are defeated. Surrender your ship and your crew will be treated according to the laws of war. There was a long silence. Then a weak signal came back from the alien ship. This is Speaker Vorth. I surrender my ship and my crew, but I demand to know how you defeated us. We had every advantage. Superior numbers, superior weapons, superior technology. How did primitives like you destroy a coalition fleet, Hyunwoo? Smiled. We are not primitives, Speaker. We never were. You just never bothered to find out who we really are. As the hunt continued across the solar system, Engineer Boram was already working on captured alien technology. Her team had boarded several disabled alien ships and was analyzing their weapons and engines. Admiral, she reported to Kyung-min, this alien technology is very advanced, but it is also very old. Their designs have not changed in thousands of years. They became overconfident and stopped innovating. This explained a lot. The Coalition had ruled the galaxy for so long that they had forgotten how to adapt to new threats. They expected every enemy to fight the same way their ancient enemies had fought. What about their defensive systems? Kyung-min asked. Their shields are powerful but inflexible. They are designed to stop specific types of energy weapons. Our plasma lances use a completely different energy frequency. To their shields, our weapons are invisible. Medical Officer Seo Jun was treating both human and alien wounded in the captured ships. 3 months after the battle, Ambassador Taeho walked through the halls of the Coalition Council building on the planet Zentara. But this time, he was not walking as a representative of a weak, threatened world. He was walking as the ambassador from Earth, a new military power in the galaxy. Behind him walked 2 guards from the Shadow Fleet. Their black uniforms and quiet confidence made other aliens step aside in the corridors. Everyone in the galaxy had heard about the mysterious human fleet that had appeared from nowhere and destroyed 10,000 Coalition ships. The Council will see you now, said a nervous alien secretary. The secretary belonged to the same species as Speaker Vorth, but this one looked much more respectful than Vorth had been 3 months ago. Taeho entered the Great Council chamber. 7 different alien species sat around a circular table. These were the rulers of the Galactic Coalition, beings who had controlled hundreds of worlds for thousands of years. Today, they looked worried and uncertain. Ambassador Taeho said, Council Leader Krex, we are here to discuss terms for ending the conflict between the Coalition and Earth. Taeho sat down at the table. He placed a data pad in front of him and looked calmly at each council member. "There is no conflict," he said quietly. "There is only your surrender." The council members looked at each other nervously. Council leader Krex cleared his throat. "Perhaps we can reach some kind of agreement. The coalition is willing to recognize Earth as an independent world. We will not interfere in your internal affairs." "Not enough," Taeho replied. "Earth demands full recognition as a major power. We want trade agreements with all coalition worlds. We want the right to establish colonies anywhere in the galaxy. And we want compensation for the threat you made against our people." Council. Member Vex, who belonged to a species that looked like giant insects, clicked his mandibles angrily. "You cannot make demands of us. The coalition has ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Taeho smiled. "And now you have learned that your rule was not as secure as you thought." On Earth, Admiral Kyungmin was addressing the United Earth Assembly. The Great Hall was filled with representatives from every nation on the planet. On the screens around the hall, images showed the Shadow Fleet patrolling the solar system. "The ancient ruins on Mars have taught us much," she said to the assembly. "The beings who built those ruins faced the same enemy we faced. They called themselves the Builders. They were a peaceful species who wanted only to explore and learn." She touched a control, and the screen showed images from the Martian ruins. Strange symbols covered the walls of underground chambers. The Builders tried to negotiate with the coalition. They offered to share their advanced technology in exchange for peace. The coalition responded by demanding complete surrender. When the Builders refused, the coalition destroyed their entire civilization. The assembly was silent. Everyone understood the implications. The coalition's attack on Earth was not unusual. It was how they had always dealt with any species that might challenge their power. "But the Builders left us a gift," Kyungmin continued. "They hid their most advanced technology in the ruins, along with a message. The message was simple: when the destroyers come again, be ready to fight." She looked out at the faces in the assembly. "We were ready, and we won." Commander Haiwan was in space aboard the Ghost Blade, leading a patrol of the outer solar system. Her ship and 50 others were practicing new battle formations. The Shadow Fleet had grown to over 800 ships now, incorporating captured coalition technology and new human designs. "All ships, execute Formation Omega," she commanded. The human ships moved in perfect coordination, creating a three-dimensional pattern that could attack enemies from every direction at once. The formation was based on principles learned from ancient builder technology, combined with human tactical innovation. "Formation complete," reported Captain So-min from her ship Starhawk. "Enemy simulation destroyed in 4.7 seconds. These exercises were not just for practice. Intelligence reports suggested that the coalition was building new fleets to replace the one they had lost. The next battle would be much harder than the first one." Captain Tae-young was on Mars, working with the archaeological team that was still exploring the Builder ruins. Every month, they discovered new chambers with more advanced technology. The Builders had been incredibly advanced, far beyond even current coalition technology. "Admiral," he reported to Kyung-min via quantum communication, "we have found something remarkable. The Builders developed a form of faster-than-light travel that does not require the jump gates that the coalition controls. This was potentially revolutionary. The coalition maintained its power partly by controlling the jump gates that allowed travel between star systems. If humans could travel faster than light without using the gates, they could reach any part of the galaxy." "How long before we can build ships with this technology?" Kyungmin asked. "Our engineers estimate 6 months for the first prototype," Tae-young replied. On Luna Station, President Sora was meeting with representatives from human colonies throughout the solar system. The victory over the coalition had inspired a new wave of human expansion. New colonies were being established on moons and asteroids throughout the solar system. "We must be careful not to expand too quickly," warned Governor Minho from the Mars colony. "The coalition will see rapid expansion as a threat." "Let them see it as a threat," replied Governor Yunji from the Europa Station. "We have proven that human technology is superior to theirs. If they want another fight, we are ready. President Sora listened to the debate. She understood both sides. Rapid expansion could provoke another war, but humans needed to establish a strong position in the galaxy while they had the advantage. We will expand, but carefully, she decided. New colonies will be established only in systems that are currently unclaimed. We will not directly challenge coalition territory until we are stronger. Lieutenant Yuna was monitoring coalition communications from her station on the hidden command ship. The aliens were having serious problems in their own territory. News of the fleet's defeat had spread throughout coalition space, causing unrest on many worlds. Admiral, she reported, we are detecting rebellion on at least 12 coalition worlds. Several subject species are demanding independence. The coalition military is stretched thin trying to maintain order. This was exactly what human strategists had hoped for. The coalition's power was based on fear. When that fear was broken, their empire began to crumble from within. Engineer Boram had been working around the clock to reverse engineer coalition technology. Her teams had made remarkable progress, combining alien designs with human innovation and builder technology from Mars. We have developed a new class of warship, she reported to Admiral Kyung-min. It combines coalition firepower, builder stealth technology, and human maneuverability. The prototype will be ready for testing next month. The new ship design was revolutionary. It would be invisible to enemy sensors, faster than any existing ship, and armed with weapons that could destroy coalition vessels with a single shot. Medical officer Seo Jun had been working with alien prisoners to learn more about coalition biology and psychology. His research had revealed important information about how the coalition functioned. The coalition species are not naturally aggressive, he reported. They became militaristic over thousands of years because they believed it was necessary for survival. Many of them are actually relieved that someone has finally challenged their system. This suggested that peace with the coalition might be possible if humans could demonstrate that they were not a threat to alien civilians. Captain Hyunwoo was leading diplomatic missions to neutral worlds throughout the galaxy. Many species had remained independent of the coalition by staying hidden or appearing harmless. Now they were interested in learning about the humans who had defeated the galaxy's greatest power. The neutral worlds are willing to trade with Earth, he reported. They see us as a potential counterweight to coalition power. Several species have offered to share technology in exchange for protection. On the coalition homeworld of Zentara, the council was meeting in emergency session. The 7 species that ruled the galaxy were facing the greatest crisis in their history. Rebellions were spreading. Their military was demoralized. And somewhere in human space, a mysterious fleet was growing stronger every day. We must attack Earth again, insisted Council Member Vex. This time with everything we have. The humans cannot be allowed to destroy our empire. With what ships? Asked Council Leader Krex. Half our fleet was destroyed at Earth. The other half is fighting rebellions throughout our territory. We cannot mount another attack for at least 2 years. Then we negotiate, said Council Member Thara, who belonged to a species that looked like walking crystals. We offer the humans a position in the coalition, make them partners instead of enemies. The debate continued for hours. The coalition had ruled through fear for so long that they had forgotten how to negotiate as equals. Back on Earth, Admiral Kyung-min stood on the observation deck of the lunar shipyards, watching new Shadow Fleet vessels under construction. The BWA shipyards were working at maximum capacity, building ships that incorporated the best of human coalition and builder technology.